Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the FrostBytez gaming experience, part 15 of the Pokemon Emerald walkthrough. And as you can tell, it's been a bit of a long one for me today, folks. But you gotta get the parts done when you need to get the parts done. I thought about convincing myself to saying, hey, you know what? I'm just not gonna worry about the Pokemon part for today. But then I remembered I promised myself that unless absolutely necessary, I would not miss a single upload day. Monday through Friday anyways, throughout the entirety of the year, unless something really random happened that kept me from doing it, or if my memory was just that, terrible. But, because I knew that I couldn't get away with that, I was like, okay, we gotta battle on through it no matter how tired we are feeling today, or at least myself anyways. I don't know, how's everybody? Pretty sure there are other people that are watching this right now that have been like, yeah, you know what, it has been quite a day, let me tell you. And I totally feel for you, but it's another day down, and, it's always going to go uphill from here, right? Anyways, gym part on this one. We start off by going through the Jagged Pass and getting ourselves a couple hidden items here and there. And after that, it's getting a couple items in the Lava Ridge town and then doing yet another gym leader fight. And the biggest thing about it is that we're really going out of our way to use Soul Rock right now. We used Soul Rock a little bit in the previous part, but now we're really going out of our way to utilize Soul Rock more so because we have a little bit better type matchups, especially with the upcoming gym leader being a fire type gym leader. Soul Rock is raring to go being a fire type. So this is a little bit annoying with the Poochyena here using a bite against me. The biggest reason why it's so annoying is that during my test play, the AI with this Poochyena kept spamming Roar against me. I kept switching it out to go back to Combuskin, and I would constantly get roared out again and again and again, and it kept bringing back Soul Rock, till I finally said, all right, I'm going to stick with Soul Rock, and then it roared again, and then I ended up getting Sableye and went with that, and it was like all kinds of crazy. And so I was like, all right, I know that this AI is just going to use Roar right out of the gate. And it decided to use Bite on me instead, making Soul Rock take a bit of a chunk of damage more than what I wanted it to take, But it doesn't really hinder too much. But as I stated before, we are looking to get ourselves the Fire Gym Badge in this part. And because it is Fire-based, Soul Rock being part Rock type is going to be in the spotlight for a good majority of it. We're at the point right now where now that we have 3 Pokemon to choose from, we're going to be doing certain switch offs based on, type weaknesses and all that kind of stuff. And generally, we usually can't stick to one type, especially throughout an entire gym. But we are at the point where even if it's one set gym, it throws in some curveballs with some trainers every now and then. And it's like, okay, the biggest thing that I want to do is avoid having to leave the gym to go heal up and then come back. I usually, when I do these, I just kind of want to go through it, take out everybody, including the gym leader, in one fell swoop without having to waste time going back and coming back again, unless it's absolutely necessary. Going back to Gen number 1, where I took too many poisons and whatnot, and so I just cut myself going to the Pokemon Center to heal up and coming on back. There are going to be some times where you are going to be hit with something that you really don't want to deal with, such as a paralysis. But luckily, the thing with Gen 3 is we don't have to worry about that nearly as much because of the abundance amount of berries that we get throughout the entirety of the game that can heal our poison, paralysis, sleep. And we now have a flute that can help out with the sleepiness of our Pokemon, that we don't really have to worry about that as much as we had to in previous parts where, I wanted to try and keep my bag as empty as possible and I couldn't have like an entire stash of awakenings and poison heals and paralysis heals and all that kind of stuff. I was like, okay, I kind of need this room for all the other random items I'm going to be finding throughout the entirety of the world without having to go to the computer every 2 routes or so. But luckily, because the berries, take care of majority of that for us, as we are going to be showcasing right here, we can use a berry to get ourselves a quick patch up as a paralysis, throw on an Oran berry just to get that extra 10 HP, just in case if it is needed, and then we're good to go. You know, and that's just an entire slot on its own. It's not going to interfere with the fact that I just got myself a burn heal. You know, the burn heal is going to take up one portion of the sack where, you know, the berries are going to be taking up the other portion of it, and I don't have to worry about it getting too clustered, really. So that's one of the things that I do like about Gen 3. You know, it was introduced in Gen 2, all the different kind of berries, but the amount that you can get right now in Gen 3 is a lot larger. You know, Gen 2 had the whole entire ordeal where after a certain amount of days you can go back and get yourself another berry from the areas that you could get them in. Whereas here you have to do the whole entire planting ordeal and taking care of everything from there on out. But again, to even that out, we get as much as we do in the beginning as opposed to, you know, only a couple here and there in Gen 2. So it really evens out all around. But with all that said and done, let's talk about the kind of Pokemon you can catch within the Jagged Pass. Not exactly a whole lot to go through here. So in the Ruby version, you have a 25% chance to get yourself a Machop and a 25% chance to get a Machop in the Sapphire Emerald version as well. Difference in those is the level types that they are. Sapphire Emerald, the Machop is going to be around 20 to 22, whereas in the Ruby version, it's more 18 to 20. Never understood why they made certain changes like that. It's just kind of what they decided to go with, I guess. Anyways, you can catch yourself a Numel, 55% chance on all three versions. However, again, Ruby version 18 to 20, Sapphire Emerald 20 to 22, and then finally you can get a Spoink, 20% chance in all three versions. And once again, Ruby 18 to 20, Sapphire Emerald 20 to 22. Once again, a little bit odd that if you play the Sapphire Emerald version, your Pokemon have, you know, you'll get a higher level Pokemon that you're going against as opposed to in the Ruby version. Not just as far as like catching wise, but as far as like getting experience. That extra 2 levels, you know, can make a difference after a while if you're grinding the specific area. So a little bizarre to me as to why it was done that way. You know, and it's not the first game to do something like that, but you know, in some cases you could kind of make up, you know, come up with a reasoning for it. But because it's all 3 Pokemon across the board being exactly the same in what you can run into, but the only difference is the level. And it would have been one thing if it was Ruby, Sapphire is one and Emerald is the other, because Emerald, you know, being, you know, the one-up of those two. But no, it's the Ruby has one and Sapphire and Emerald together have the other. Just a little bit odd to me, but whatever. I'm not going to go too far into that. So here we are in Lava Ridge Town, home of the fire gym, because obviously the town name is Lava Ridge. It just kind of goes hand in hand with it. I do like this little bit. It kind of feels like a bit of a joke to me. You know, you come into the hot springs and you can get yourself 1 ice heal. Little bit odd. You know, like getting yourself, well, I guess it's not that odd because, you know, the ice heal and it's like the steaminess of it. But at the same time, in my brain, I think of it like, even though it's an ice heal, it's like, oh, I don't know, something about like the word ice being in a spa is just kind of funny to me. I don't know. I'm really tired. Don't try and make sense of anything that I'm talking about. So in the Lava Ridge Gym, the gimmick here is that there are 2 floors. You fall down these holes, or they will spring you up like a geyser into the 2nd floor. And the gimmick is when you start getting close to one of them, where you're 1 square away, basically saying that, hey, I'm going to try this one out. Well, there's probably going to be a person there that's going to pop up and say, oh, I'm here to battle you. What's weird about it is that these trainers kind of come out of nowhere. If you walk the entirety of it, and let's say you dodge every single one of them. I think it's actually impossible to dodge all of them, but let's just say, for instance, that you did. You would not see a single trainer in this entire area, minus the gym leader and the dude in the very beginning telling you, hey, here's what the gym is weak to. Which seems really bad. I feel like that guy should get fired, actually. You're basically going out of your way and telling this person, hey, here's how you beat my boss. Seems a little bit odd to me, you know, but whatever. Anyways, but yeah, no, if you go on through, other than the gym leader and the guy in the beginning there, you don't see a single trainer. You know, like we go against these 2 in a double battle right here, but they weren't on the other floor whatsoever. So where do they come from? Like, What? It makes absolutely no sense. Is there like some kind of like trapdoor hole thing? Something that, you know, you can't really go through one or the other or something like that? I don't know. It's a little bit bizarre, really. Not exactly sure. Okay, but anyways, that's just kind of my little thing on that. It's just a little bit weird. All right, that's really all there is to it. But again, with Soul Rock, makes it really easy. You're going to be going against a lot of Slugmas in here, a lot of Numels, which Soul Rock doesn't have as easy a time with, being that Numel is also part ground type. Your damage is only just flat damage. You don't get the extra damage for the fact that, oh, they are a fire type. You know, you don't really get so lucky with that. But outside of that, you know, again, you're going to be going through a lot of Slugmas, one-shot, basically all of them, no problem. A little bit odd, though, that pretty much Numel and Slugma are really a majority of what we go against. Then we have ourselves a random, I'm assuming you pronounce it a Kecleon? Is that how you pronounce it? It's not Kessleon. I'm guessing it's Kecleon. Anyways, this is an odd normal type Pokemon. Whenever it takes damage, its passive is it turns itself into whatever the damaging move was. So you hit it with, say, a fighting move, it's now a fighting type. You know, so think Porygon, but it has to take damage before it can change itself to the type effectiveness that, you know, of whatever it is. The downside to that, though, is that it always starts off as a normal. So if you bring a fighting type in against it, then it doesn't matter that it can change, because you're pretty much going to drop it in one shot like I just did with Combuskin right there. Now, I think with Double Kick, the way it interacts with the passive, I took it down in one hit, and I'm not 100% sure on this, but I believe that with a move like Double Kick, after you hit it once, if it survives the first hit, it will change into the fighting type before it takes the second shot. I think that's how all the multi-shot works against it. I could be wrong. I am not 100% on that, because I've never really went on my way to have a Kecleon on my team, because I've never really seen the reasoning to have it. I guess in you know, storyline base, you know, just doing the game itself, it's not all that bad, because the AI is not all that smart either. So in this case here, they would use an Ember against me, turn me into a fire type, and then consistently keep throwing embers at me without, you know, trying to mix it up whatsoever. But again, I don't... It kind of makes it really hard, because as far as I remember, once it changed its typing, it also changes, you know, how its stab moves work with it. And because your opponent is the one that's in charge of that, it's really hard to make that work at full effectiveness, as opposed to having just a Pokemon that has that type to take advantage of that stab. Okay? So, not exactly... Basically, what I'm trying to say is you're never going to see it in this run on my team. You know, I guess that's just the bottom line with it. It's a cool idea, it's a cool concept, but it doesn't make it a strong Pokemon. And then on top of that, we have another random one. What the heck is a Meditite doing in this? We have a Fighting Psychic and a Fire. And the only reason why it's here is because it has the ability to use Fire Punch. And that's really it. And then outside of the Fire Punch, it doesn't really add anything whatsoever. Like, it doesn't. It's just there for Sableye to take out, no problem. You know, once it has to go through one detect anyways. But hey, you know, what can you do? Not really much, unfortunately. Anyways, I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, after this trainer, we are going to be going against the gym leader. And so, contrast to what I thought of the last gym leader with, was it Wallace or Wally? I want to say it was Wallace. That one being one that I had to really prep for ahead of time. In fact, now that I think about it, I think I actually dodged a trainer fight. That is not good. Now that I think about it, there's that one room there, and I believe one of those actually had a trainer in it, so I just completely skipped a trainer in the gym. That's not good if that's actually the case. I don't fully know, but hey, we're going against Flannery, so whatever. Taken away from that anyways. In contrast to the last one, where I thought that I needed a lot of planning ahead of time to take out the gym leader's Pokemon, it's not really as much over here. And it's really, and a lot of it comes with the fact that Solrock has the ability Levitate. So when we're going against this Numel here, a level 24 with Overheat, Takedown, Magnitude, and Sunny Day, having the ability Levitate, if those don't even, for those that don't know about it, it makes it so that you're immune to ground type moves. So this Numel that has the ability of Magnitude should be able to crush my Solrock like it's no one's business, but Solrock doesn't have to worry about taking any ground type damage. So we're pretty much safe and in the clear. And Numel with that Magnitude is the only ground type move in this entire gym, because next up we have ourselves Slugma, Overheat, Smog, Light Screen, and Sunny Day. The biggest ones that you'll know here is that every single Pokemon on her team runs the two moves of Overheat and Sunny Day. Overheat being a big, you know, finale one-hit KO fire move that then lowers its special attack once it's used. You mix that in with Sunny Day, you're going to get a lot of damage thrown out here. The thing is, when it's a Solrock, it ain't going to do all that much, and when it's also another fire type and Combuskin, it's not going to do that much either. Now, going against a Camerupt here, level 26 has Overheat, Sunny Day, Tackle, and Attract. The biggest thing that we have to worry about here is the Attract, but we also have the Flute, so we don't need to worry about that so much. But the reason why I'm using this to get a couple bulk ups with Combuskin is because I know that Camerupt doesn't have any move that can one-shot me. You know, the evolution from Numel kept Tackle, but did not bring Magnitude with it. Seems like a bit of an oversight to me, but because of that, we are capable of taking advantage of it and getting ourselves a good amount of bulk ups to take out Camerupt and the next Pokemon miles easier. As good as Solrock is, Solrock does still have a problem with taking a Sunny Day Overheat based on the level difference here, as opposed to Combuskin, that is level 36 by now, would be able to take a good amount of those without really having to worry about feigning from it. Whereas, and again, if it wasn't for Sunny Day, Solrock maybe would stand a chance, but again, when it comes to Camerupt, we have a fire ground type, so I don't have the super effectiveness on the move, so there's no reason to try and risk it. And a Sunny Day Overheat would be enough to completely take it out. Now, mix that in. Whoa, took out my microphone there. My goodness. Oh, today, this has been a horrible recording already. Anyways, with that said, so Torkoal, finally, we're going against another Torkoal here, but this one's level 29 with an Overheat, Sunny Day, Body Slam, and Attract. So once again, we have to deal with Attract, consider the fact that her whole entire team is female. Body Slam, got to be a little bit worried on getting hit with a paralysis, which is why when I got the Charcoal earlier, I didn't throw it on Combuskin just yet to get the extra damage on fire. Instead, I kept the paralysis berry on Combuskin in case I did get hit with the Body Slam, so it wouldn't take me, it wouldn't really, you know, so if this Body Slam right there gave me paralysis, wouldn't matter. I'd be able to use another double kick and call it good right there. But once again, even though I would have the super effectiveness with my Solrock, it being a Sunny Day Overheat with Stab on Torkoal is enough to one-shot me. Now, if that, you know, if let's say if I did it and that did happen, the biggest thing out of it would be that Torkoal would have no special attack left over to take care of the rest of my team. It is a let's finish this kind of move. It is not exactly a move that is going to get used right out of the gate. Think of it, was it like Draco Meteor, where you use it and it does a whole bunch of damage, but the downside to it is that you lose a lot in stats with it. And with that, our Combuskin is now a Blaziken, and along with it, we get ourselves the Blaze Kick ability, which, yes, does not have itself great accuracy, 90% accuracy, but the 85 power is hard to pass up at this point, especially because Ember ain't really doing so much for it. We still want to keep Bulk up, just in case if we're ever going to need it, and we'll eventually probably have to get rid of Rock Smash at some point. But, oh man, I'm trying to remember, because a part of me thinks, if I'm not mistaken, if I took the other route, because coming here, we went to the right and then took the top one. If we took the other one, I think that just drops us all the way through. Does it? No, I think there is a trainer I probably missed. That is really bad on my part, considering the fact that I'm supposed to showcase all of it. And I think when it comes to trainer gym battles, I'm not able to go back and challenge the trainer in the gym later on. I guess I'll have to give that a look And what I'm actually going to do right now is I'm going to take a quick look online and see if there was one that I did miss. So, Lava Ridge. If I did, this is really sad and embarrassing. I don't think I've ever missed a trainer once. Or at least, I haven't missed a trainer that I couldn't go back and refight anyways. Anyways, let me see here. Nope, we actually did take care of everybody from the looks of it. Yeah, we did. So I actually didn't miss anyone. Okay, good. Whew. I was a little bit worried there. And let me take a look. Yeah, no, from the looks of it, there is... Oh, wait, nope. Nope, that isn't all of them. Cool. Okay, so I did not miss a trainer. Oh, thank goodness. All right, so I don't have to worry about that whatsoever, so I'll cut this appropriately. Anyways, with that said, ladies and gentlemen, I do hope you enjoy the rest of your evenings, and we'll catch you on the next part.